You're watching KSL Sports Live.
I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. We're still full, and we're thankful for all of you that join us every Sunday night. We appreciate you. We have a great show as we put a bow on the college football regular season.
Yeah, plus LeBron James in Salt Lake City tonight. The Jazz had a chance to sink him and the Lakers at the buzzer. We'll have that and a look back at the Utah Hockey Club's 6-0 win down in Las Vegas. Well, as the weekend began, BYU still had a chance to get to that Big 12 championship game. They had to win, of course, but they also needed a bit of help. They needed Iowa State or Arizona State to lose their games. But as we know, both of those teams won. So in BYU season finale against Houston, BYU was playing for its third 10-win season under Kalani Sitake. The Cougars, they had some ball control issues early on, turning it over 3 times on fumbles in the game, but they were able to overcome that with 356 yards of total offense. Quarterback Jake Retzloff had 224 total yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. BYU wins 30-18. They now await the bowl invitation.
Don't know the reason for a lot of it. I can probably guess around halftime, you know, when they found out some of the news and things like that.
I mean, everyone still knew what we had at hand. We knew that we had to send the seniors out on a good note and hit that double-digit win that we all were looking for. So it wasn't really a huge loss. Obviously, we would like to play in that game, but at the end of the day, we wanted to win for our seniors and our final game here at LES this season.
It didn't really matter. I mean, we just wanted to send these guys out on a win. So, I mean, that's what we did. And, you know, we wish our offense would have had a better performance, but, you know, that's why we got one more game to go out there and try to do it.
We can play better, and that's my job as the head coach, to make sure that we're playing better. And lack of discipline, some of the penalties, and even the pushing, it was chippy all night, and I just felt like we're not playing like our normal selves, and that's what I got to get going. I got to get these guys back on track of what they can do and focused on our goals.
Quick timeout. More NFL when we come back.
Yeah, have you ever seen a 300-pound lineman rumble 90-plus yards for a score? We're going to show you.
It's the pass behind his back to Lowry. LeBron bites, Sexton finishes.
Ooh, LeBron James and the LA Lakers in town tonight. Could the Jazz stun the Lakers and give them their 5th loss in 6 games?
Let these guys enjoy this win. It's all about our players tonight.
Has Kyle Whittingham coached his final game with the Utes? He was asked that on Friday. We'll hear his answer. And Stevenson Sylvester dives into this week of college football coming up.
And we look back at the Utah Hockey Club's 6-0 win in Vegas, a game to remember for Utah's new goalie. That and much more coming up after this. Out of the NBA, the Utah Jazz 4-15 record marks the team's worst start to a season since 2013-14, when they only won 4 of their first 23 games.
Yeah, we knew what to expect this season. Some pain, some progress, and a whole lot of patience as well along the way. Tonight, the Jazz played the second of back-to-back home games, this one against LeBron and the Lakers. It's good to see the future so involved in the team, right? In the first quarter, Bryce Sensabaugh connecting on one of his 2 first-half three-pointers. Jazz up 3. Johnny Juzang had a great first half off the bench. Drives coast to coast for the scoop and the foul. He had 9 in the first half. Second quarter, Juzang out leading the break. Lobs it up to Drew Eubanks. And the Jazz start to go on a bit of a run here. Lauri Markkanen, he'll then catch and shoot the 3. Markkanen had 9.5. And then Colin Sexton fakes out the king.
Sexton has it somehow with a left-hand dribble, collects himself, fakes the pass behind his back to Lowry. LeBron bites, Sexton finishes. Oh, LeBron has no shoes, no shirt, no service.
A part of a 12-2 run for the Jazz. Markkanen ends the half driving and dunking. Jazz down by 2 at halftime. All right, in the second half, Anthony Davis was scoring at will. 17 third-quarter points for him. This 3 for the 1-point lead. It was John Collins giving the Jazz the offensive spark they needed to stick around in this game. Gets the friendly bounce off the backboard. Unintended, he's still able to throw it down to tie the game up. All right, let's just skip ahead to the end of the game here. Jazz are down by 7. Lauri Markkanen going to connect on his 5th three-pointer of the game. This cuts the lead to 4. Then just over a minute to go in the game. Keontae George, he hangs and hits and draws the foul. The Jazz are down by 1. Final seconds, Jazz with a chance to win it. Sexton on the drive. The scoop, the score, but wait just a minute. Will Hardy called timeout before the bucket. So one more try with 2.1 seconds left. But this time, doesn't really work out. The Jazz fall short by a point to the Lakers. That's 4 straight losses for the Jazz. Anthony Davis, 33 points, 11 rebounds. LeBron, 27 points, 14 assists, although he was 0 for 9 from three-point range. Lowry had 22 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Jazz go back on the road Tuesday night against OKC after tonight's loss.
Obviously, the timeout, you know, we like to let people go in that situation. When Colin started, he did a retreat dribble backwards, started calling timeout. It's obviously loud.
At the end of the day, coach felt like I was stuck a little bit, and he called it. But it's just one of those. If it goes in, good. But if it doesn't, then I should have called a timeout. So I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's tough in that moment because, yeah, it's tough.
The top 2 teams in the East battle in Cleveland, Cavs and Celtics. Down 9, the Cavs rally started by this 3 by Sam Merrill. Then Donovan Mitchell comes in and catches fire. 4 threes in the fourth quarter. Red hot, Donovan scored 30 points in the second half, 20 in the fourth. After going 2 of 8 from the floor in the first half, he finished with 35 points. The Cavs finished the Celtics' 7-game win streak. They are now 18-3.
The top 2 teams in the Western Conference, the Thunder and the Rockets. Late second quarter, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander showing off the handles, getting to the rim to cut the Rockets' lead to 4. Third quarter, the Rockets turn the ball over. SGA finishes at the other end to go up by 8. Final 3 minutes. Fred VanVleet's just going off. Deep 3 ties it up. Then 90 seconds to go from the locker room for the lead. He drills it. 30 seconds to go. SGA, chance to tie this game up, but he misses. The Rockets get the win, 119 to 116. All right, back to college football. You know, never before in Utah football history has a team in that program lost 8 straight games in a single season.
Yeah, but after starting 4-0, the Utes were facing that potential fate on Friday, wrapping up the season with no bowl bid in sight and nothing but pride to play for.
Yeah, on the road against UCF. One thing that's really never been in doubt this season, just how good Utah's defense is. And on the opening drive of the game, that defense delivered. Lander Barton with the strip sack. Logan Fano would recover to help lead to Utah's opening points, a field goal for the 3-0 lead. We'll have more on this Utah defense coming up in a bit, but Luke Batari, he got the start at quarterback. He passed for 111 yards and touchdown to Landon King there for the 21-7 lead. In the fourth quarter, some history. Mekhi Bernard hits the 1,000 yards rushing mark on that run, the 17th back in Utah history to reach the 1,000-yard mark, the first since Tavion Thomas in 2021. Utah, they do end the drought with a win, 28-14.
It felt good, but at the same time, it's like bittersweet. That's the last one, you know. It's the last one of our careers here at Utah, so, you know, it felt good just to finally, you know, sing Utah band and smile and have fun.
You know, had a lot of adversity this year that we faced, but these guys just kept hanging in there. When you start having week after week of no success, a lot of teams are just cashing in and just, you know, not even give any effort. These guys just continue to give great effort every single week.
We fight all year long, every single day, every single week, and just nothing, no wins to come out of it. But, you know, this is just, his message is we earned this. So just to get out of here with a W, end the season right, even though it wasn't the best season, we earned this.
Pleasure to coach, even though we're far from where we wanted to be and different season than what we had hoped for. Still can't say how much I think of these seniors and this team as a whole, so very positive.
Exercise bike. Apparently he's challenged.
For 21 straight seasons, the Utes have returned an interception for a touchdown, an incredible streak. They got one last week, and they got 2 more on Friday against UCF's Amaya Vaughn and Smith Snowden. Each took one to the house against the Knights. For Vaughn, he also had 6 tackles and a sack in his final game as a Ute.
That was a great pick and an exceptional run by him, and you saw how fast he is, and a great job by the defense executing the interception return process that we drill every single week. So yeah, it definitely gave us a spark and really a shot of adrenaline for us.
All right, so there will be a lot of questions this offseason. Where do the Utes go from here? An underwhelming season. They failed to reach the lofty expectations they had. They finished 5-7. After 20 seasons, is it time for Coach Witt, the greatest coach in Utah history, to move on, maybe move into retirement? He was asked about his future after the game on Friday.
I don't want to talk about that. That's not about me. I don't want to even bring that up. Let these guys enjoy this win. It's all about our players tonight, and just proud of them. And I'd rather just leave it at that for tonight.
Just be by his side, just be a part of his, journey, whether it's coming to the end or not. It feels good just to know that we did end it off on a W.
I think that's another thing about this.
Back to the Cougars. One of the best plays of the BYU-Houston game was made by junior safety Talon Alfrey. But it wasn't on defense. It was on special teams. He took an onside kickoff attempt, 58 yards for a touchdown. Whoops. A heads-up play that helped BYU secure their 10th win of the season.
Yeah, the coaches prepared us. Whenever there's a penalty like that, there's a shorter field, a little more risky with the onside kicks. And so once we saw the kickoff team kind of converge on the kicker and the kicker's approach, we knew the middle dribble was coming, and we got a fortunate bounce and was able to score.
Stevenson Sylvester joins us now to take a deep dive into the final week of the college football regular season. It's sad just saying that out loud.
Yeah. I feel like we just started.
I know, right? Well, anyway, let's go out with a bang here. That kickoff return for a touchdown, pretty cool. You played a lot of special teams, especially in the NFL. What's the art of that? And did you ever come close to doing one of those?
Oh yeah, I've been a part of those on both sides, right? Where we've done it, and then of course on the receiving end. For me, I had it when we went against the Ravens, but I just went for the kicker. I was like, I'm not even messing with the ball. I just want to hit somebody.
You just wanted blood.
I just wanted to hit somebody, and so I hit Justin Tucker, and we got the ball back, so it was a win on that. I probably should have picked it up and gone, but I've been on both sides of that. I think the main thing is you have to know your opponent, know the situation, know the time of the season, and then know the possibilities of that coming out.
Now we know why Justin Tucker suddenly has the yips.
Never forget.
The way BYU finished that game, though, you had to think that maybe in the locker room there was already word circulating that they would not be going to the Big 12 championship game. They could have mailed it in, but they still came out and were able to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of other factors that you play for, in a game, instead of just one instance where I can possibly go to the Big 12 championship. But there's a lot of other things. One, this is a remarkable season, one of the best seasons they've had in a long time, and there's a lot of things with this season, right? The biggest things is those seniors, right? The seniors, what they've put this program on the map for, the work that they've put in these last couple of years to get this team to that point, it's just magic. So you don't just end it just because you get some news at halftime. And first of all, you got to win every game, no matter what, right? And so, yeah, definitely, I think there's some things that they want to prove. And in that third quarter, their defense is just lights out. I think Houston had a total of 30 yards and a turnover in that quarter. And so, these guys just understand the tempo. Like, look, they knew it was a possibility going into the game. It happened, it sucked, but they handled it professionally, which is exactly what you're supposed to do.
Disappointing to miss that championship game, but remember, they were 5-7 last year. A much better feeling now and obviously into the future. All right, now to the Utes. How important was it for them to win that game? What does it mean for them moving forward? What did you witness from them? What did you learn from them on Friday?
Oh, it was great. Well, it's what we've talked about all year. They gave effort the entire time, right? All these losses, they were close losses. It wasn't really like we got blown out. The Colorado game was a little lopsided, but you just seen this team's heart. You can see the culture of this team come out in that football game. Injury here, injury here. You see a lot of guys you never even heard before, right? Zachariah Williams, he came out huge in that game, right?
Where was he all year?
He was a true freshman, so you're like, do we save it? We got so many weapons.
I get it.
There's a lot of decisions that need to be made, but what I loved is being in the locker room after the game, the seniors coming up and saying their piece about how much they love the team, love their teammates, love the culture at Utah, what it's all about. Right, and so I thought that was huge, and I think that was huge for the younger guys staying in. It was like, look, we got a core. It was an unfortunate year, but this is what football's all about, and those guys hung in there, and I absolutely loved that.
All right, real quick. It was a big rivalry weekend, that last weekend of the regular season. Hopefully BYU and Utah get back to that weekend someday again soon. But we saw a lot of scuffles at the end of games, a lot of teams trying to plant their flag at midfield. Did you have memories of those old rivalry moments, and what did you think of what happened?
First of all, I loved it.
Yeah.
Fight. I love it. No, it's football. It just means something to you, right? It means something to fans. I know if us as fans are that passionate, I want the players to be that passionate as well. And first of all, for me, it's more of like protecting your house, no matter what it is, right? Nobody comes into your place, disrespects you, win, lose, or draw, whatever. I think Steve Sarkisian said it best. He's like, there's a way to do it, right? There's a way with class. But there's some people who don't, and if they don't, hey, we all got to squabble. So that's exactly what happened with most of the teams. I even love the mascots getting it. I love that. At first, I thought it was a joke, and then I saw some heads kind of turning, and I'm just like, oh, that's real. And so they get in it, too. And those mascots, I'm telling you, that's a whole culture.
It is.
With the mascots, they take it seriously. But I thought it was a great rivalry weekend, great football, right? And I think that's what us fans really love is we could turn on the set, no matter what channel it was, and see a great football game.
Yeah, for the fuddy-duddy say, we got to get that out of the game. Come on now.
Hey.
We're talking about it. That's why we watch it. It's college football. That's what makes
it's been there for decades.
Exactly. All right, thanks, Sly. Appreciate it.
Yeah, great stuff. All right, hey, we're going to check in with the Utah Hockey Club coming up next. An explosive offensive effort against Vegas. Next.
Schmaltz to the front, they score! OT winner!
Gotta love Miguel Sergachev goals, too. He wrapped up Utah's 4-game road trip with a golden goal in overtime against the Canadiens. They finished the East Coast swing with 5 points in 4 games.
Keller's got it. Now Keller to the net. He scores. Here's a chance. Take it away. And a goal. Loose. And a shot and a goal. Sent right to the net. They scored. And it's 4-0. Wow. Carcone's got it. He shoots. And he scores. As it comes in front. And Schmaltz has scored. Utah puts up a half a dozen.
What a night at the Fortress for the Utah Hockey Club. After a heartbreaking overtime loss Friday at home against Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, Utah had to go on the road to one of the toughest places to play in the NHL. Instead of a house of horrors, T-Mobile Arena was quite comfortable for Utah as they turned this game into a laugher. They scored 4 first-period goals. Clayton Keller got things started. 5:33 into the game, then Alex Kerfoot scores an unassisted shorthanded goal to make it 2-0. Nick Schmaltz would score a minute later. That's his first goal of the season to make it 3-0. Schmaltz would score twice in the game. Logan Cooley and Michael Carcone also find the back of the net as Utah picks up its 10th win of the season, and the offense is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
We scored first. That was good, and then the goal in the PK I think gave us some energy. Schmaltz scoring as well. I think it was good to have Schmaltz get the monkey off his back. Karts get the monkey off his back. I think those 2 guys are important point producer for us, so it was good for that.
You know, we've been getting better. You know, practice, video, you know, you name it. So it's good to see some guys score for sure.
Utah only needed 1 goal Saturday night in Vegas because Jackson Stauber was that good between the pipes. Stauber made his Utah Hockey Club debut a memorable one. He stopped 29 shots and earned the first shutout in franchise history. It was just the 7th NHL start for Stauber in his career.
Utah hosts the Dallas Stars tomorrow night. Tonight, the Stars hosting the Jets. First period, Stars down a goal. Wyatt Johnson risks in the game-tying goal. Still tied in the third. Check out this goal here by Mason Marchment. Turns his back to the goal and flips it in. This is definitely worth another look. Marchment's 10th goal of the season. Dallas is 6 points ahead of Utah with the 3-1 win.
Canucks and Red Wings. Detroit had a 4-3 lead with less than 4 minutes left when Vancouver's Eric Brandstrom gets the equalizer. That would force overtime, and the Canucks would capitalize. Jake DeBrusk beats Villahuso. DeBrusk completes the hat trick. The Canucks take 2 points back home to Vancouver.
What a wild ride it's been for Utah State this season. The head coach was fired just a month before the season. It took a little bit for the Aggies to really start clicking under interim head coach Nate Dreiling, but they came into the weekend with wins in 3 of their last 4. Bryson Barnes starting at quarterback against Colorado State Barnes rushed for 185 yards in the game on Friday. He scored the game's first touchdown. Barnes also passed for 189 yards in the game, connecting on a touchdown with Otto Tia for the second time in the game for a 23-13 lead in the third quarter. The Aggie defense would pad the lead thanks to Jaden Francois, a 40-yard pick six. The Aggies roll into the fourth quarter with a 30-13 lead, which is what made this fourth quarter collapse all the more surprising. Braden Fowler-Nicolosi passed for 3 touchdowns. He ran for a score. That built a 42-30 Colorado State lead. The Aggies still almost come back. Barnes threw his third touchdown to Tia to cut the lead to 5. Then on the onside kick, they actually recover this. We just don't see that often anymore. On the very next play, though, Barnes' pass gets picked off, his second interception of the game, and that's it. Utah State's season ends with the loss and a 4-8 record.
Back to the NBA, Grizzlies hosting the Pacers. A great start for Indiana. Jarris Walker beats the first quarter horn, and the Pacers have a 42-28 lead. But the Grizzlies would rally in a big way. Jaren Jackson Jr. with 25 points. Ja Morant with 19 points and 8 assists. After trailing by 19, the Grizzlies end up winning by 15. How about that swing? Right on Wednesday night, Atlanta Hawks guard Trae Young helped hand the Cavs just their second loss of the season behind a 20-point, 22-assist night.
Yeah, good for Trae Young, but we've seen a few of those around here in Utah before. Let's remind you all with this week's dive into the KSL Sports archives. Did you know that John Stockton had 34 career games with 20 or more assists and 9 career games of 20 points and 20 assists, plus 2 more of those happened in the playoffs. It was 33 years ago this weekend when he last did it, 21 points, 23 assists against the Warriors. Also, John is one of 3 players in NBA history with 20 points and 20 assists in back-to-back games. He did that on March 1st, 1990 with 26 points, 21 assists against the Blazers, and then 22 points and 20 assists 2 days later against the Spurs at the Salt Palace. Many will try, but few, if any, will replicate what Basketball John did here in Utah. We'll be right back.
Utah Hockey Club hosting the Dallas Stars tomorrow night. Look forward to that. You can read all about the Utah Hockey Club and everything else we cover here at KSL Sports on that app right there. Download it today. That new shiny thing. It looks pretty.
Beautiful. You can listen to the game live there as well.
That's right.
Check it out.